Welcome into the Fan Speak Network. I am your host, Justin Bruni. Joining me, as always, is my co-host and partner, Mr. Andrew, the TD King, Rob. Happy Hump Day, sir. How are we doing? How are we feeling?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ready to talk about some fallers here. It's been pretty crazy ever since all the best ball drafts have opened up. Been in the streets myself, pretty hot and heavy. I know you've done a few yourself. Feels good to be back in the actual streets. None of that big board nonsense. We are live in it. So yeah, man. Feels good. Feels good to be back.
Terrible. No, it feels good to be back. And we are post NFL draft. And what I love every single year is the complete overreaction to rookie ADP. We're seeing guys getting pulled up 20, 30, even 50 picks plus. When you look at RJ Harvey, I think it's like ADP 157 going up to a pick like anywhere from 60 to 66. I'm not sure how early you've seen him go, but the ADP is absolutely wild. So tonight we're going to be talking about ADP Fallers because of some of the volatility that we're seeing in rookie ADP. We don't have our BBM DB notes yet. They haven't dropped BBM 6. Anxious for that. Going to be checking back daily. If someone sees it before I do, please reach out. Let me know. Don't want to miss that. Because I'm going to be very interested to see how things have moved since the start of the competition and the measurement of ADP shifts. But we do have some pretty glaring examples just based off the draft itself. We're seeing some newly crowded receiver rooms, running back situations that we're going to cover where we're seeing clear falls and maybe some value that we want to buy the dip on and some that we also want to fade the dip on. So let's dive right in. Let's go ahead and smash the like button, share the video, follow the Fan Speak Network. First up, someone that I said, hey, like immediately on the live draft show, I'm going to buy the dip here. That's Jerome Ford. In our last draft, Andrew, on Monday, he went pick 170. His ADP is 139. So that's 31 picks after ADP. I think that's like 4 to 5 rounds roughly. What's your thought on that backfield? You got Judkins there now. People are moving him up the board. How are you gauging this situation?
Yeah, and before we get into that, let's just say hello to the chat. Disbanded Brotherhood, always with the period. Al Boogie, sup, Al Boogie. Wiles checking in the chat. He was in hibernation there for a while. He's back in it as well. And Jeff T, judging by the thumbnail, I thought this was a cosplay video. I'm disappointed. There's football talk. Yeah. So
you took the bait, sucker.
I'm a Jerome Ford guy. Always have been. Love Jerome Ford, and I still like Jerome Ford here. I mean, obviously Judkins is probably going to be the guy for them, but there's something to say about what coaches like in a player, and I think they like somebody that they can trust. Right? Jerome Ford has been there. Like they know that they can trust him. They know they can trust him really in any situation. I mean, he's been there and has done that for the team over and over. Especially with like Nick Chubb going down, he was just thrown into the fire, right? So I still think that they really like Jerome Ford. I do think he, gets, opportunities taken away by Judkins, obviously, but they also drafted Dylan Sampson. I think Ford is definitely ahead of Dylan Sampson on any, part of the football field, any down, any situation that they want to kind of have, Ford in. I think he does better than Sampson, especially right out of the gate. So when you're, getting a fall on Jerome Ford as your RB 4-5, most likely, I still really like that because he's probably going to be, I would say 1B to start and then fall back to the actual 2 on the team later on in the season. But I mean, we've seen him do pretty well if there's any injuries ahead of him. So I still think that, Jerome Ford is a viable option, especially if there's any kind of injury. He's slotted right back into the starting role again. And I think it's going to take a lot for Dylan Sampson to really get out there and beat out Ford, as the 2, at least this season. So any drop on Ford, I think is still good.
I mean, do we expect this offense to be good in 2026? I don't know if
yeah, I mean, could it be? Yes. Should we temper expectations? Probably. Is it going to be any worse than it was last year? Probably not.
Probably not. But I don't think it's going to be like a top 10 offense. And
no.
I'm thinking closer to bottom 5, bottom 10. And because of that, I also lean towards Jerome Ford because they're just going to keep rolling the guy out there that knows the playbook, knows the system, because this is a team that's probably also going to be playing from behind. I don't think the Browns are anything special right now on paper. I like Jerome Ford just because, he's been stable. He's been there. It doesn't seem like they would add a guy, but it could also be Nick Chubb back to the Browns. I think that's where you really start to get worried, is if they add like a free agent, like if they somehow added like J.K. Dobbins. I don't think you'd be worried about like Jamal Williams or anything like that. But if they added somebody of note, like Chubb or Dobbins, I think you might temper expectations for Ford. But right now, I like Judkins at his cost. Everybody's going to be moving him up. I will buy the dip in Jerome Ford just because of that stability in the offense, when you're probably going to have some uncertainty at the quarterback position as well. Like, does the quarterback play here affect the decision at all to buy the dip on him? Like, if I told you Flacco is going to start the majority of the games, I feel like I'd be in on him more.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would like Flacco to play majority of the games, though I do feel like at the end of the season, if they are out of it, why not throw some rookies out there, whether that be Shadir, whether that be the other
Dylan
guy,
Gabriel.
yeah, Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
So I would prefer it to be Flacco there for Ford, because I know that Flacco can check it down, pretty well. We've seen him do it his entire career. So I would like that for Ford. But if it is a rookie too, like that might be okay for Ford too. Again, just check downs, right, to Ford and let him do his thing. So either way, it's fine. I do
Mhm.
prefer Flacco, and I would just pull up the rankings. Ford currently going around behind Dylan Sampson, which I think is incorrect. He's right behind Ray Davis, which I think is fine because
What is
James
his ADP in comparison to Samson? Because like I said, he fell 31 spots in our last draft.
Sampson currently 150, Jerome Ford 156. So only six
Gotcha.
behind him, but I still feel like that's incorrect. But I
Yeah,
mean, when
I
you
would
look at
absolutely swap those, and I'd probably even push Samson a little bit as well.
there's other guys here that I definitely like Ford over. Like so Ray Davis is there. That one's
Mhm.
fine with me just because it's a really good offense, and if something happens to James Cook, like Ray Davis could be extremely good. And they didn't address the position in Buffalo. Rico Dowdle's there. I'll take Ford over Dowdle. Rashad White's there. Depending on your build, I'm okay taking White over Ford, but I would prefer Ford just in a vacuum. I'll
Mhm.
take him over Tyler Algier, DJ Giddens, J.K. Dobbins, Braylon Allen, like all those other guys. I'll still take Ford over. But again, and any of these guys we talk about, I always go back to what does my team need and what's the build. If I have three really good running backs, let's say you start out running back, and then take another one in like the fifth round, right?
Mhm.
I don't think that you need Ford as your four there. I think you want to take some upside then, right? Like maybe a DJ Giddens, because if Jonathan Taylor's out, DJ Giddens is going to be the guy, and that might be an awesome spot for you, right? Like, so I think it's based on build. If you need a guy to
Mhm.
get you some steady points and somebody that you can trust in a lineup, as an RB2 for you, and you don't have top tier guys in your lineup, that's where I think that you want to go look for Ford, somebody that you just need some points out of.
No, and I agree with that. Round 15 is where he went on Monday. Wiles is saying his ADP is down to 164. When we did that draft, he was at 150 or 139.
I'm looking at
So
the
pretty,
rankings
pretty
right
big
now. It
fall.
says Jerome Ford 156. So I don't know if maybe he saw them go down to 164 in a draft. Yeah, and he's saying they also got Pickett. Bold take here. I don't think Pickett makes the team. I think he
They
gets traded.
they had
They
like
traded for Pickett, and I don't think he makes it through the season.
I don't know if he like makes it through camp, to be honest. I mean, if Gabriel is good, then I just don't know how it's going to be possible to carry like four. So there's going to be somebody on the outside looking in. Easier to practice squad, I think. Dylan Gabriel, if Shitty or Sanders, it does come out on top in that competition. I think many still would assume so. Um, going to be an interesting situation to follow, but
Oh, and
uncertainty
he
at quarterback.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, and he's right. Sorry, it defaults you. I didn't realize it defaults you to the Eliminator season ADPs. I just switched over to the
Ah,
2025 season, and he is right. It is 164.
nice. Well, that's a pretty incredible fall in just a couple of days. Because, like I said, pulling up the ADP from that draft, doing a review on it, he was at ADP 139. So again, I'm buying that dip. If I'm getting him even closer to what is that 164, that's round 14, meaning he could easily fall to around 16 or 17 if I'm surrounded by a group of people that are doubting him. Chat, let us know what you think on Jerome Ford. We're going to move on to the next guy. Let us know if you're buying his dip, and don't forget to smash
Last
that
thing
like
on
as well.
Last thing on Ford, just for construction, and this should be with any guy that you're looking at, but like I like Ford a lot. If you take like a Travian Henderson that maybe won't take the one role right away from Ramondre Stevenson right away, Ford might be the guy to start, right? Or at least 1B with Judkins. So if that's the case, take Ford. If you have, Henderson or somebody like that you may have a slow start to kind of get the points for Ford in the beginning. And then as Ford fades out, maybe that is when obviously Travian Henderson will then probably be getting you more points. So just think about what your team needs, how you're constructed, and how your points are going to come on week to week.
Next up, we have, let's see, Roma Dunze. Yeah, Roma Dunze, Cole Kmet, kind of a similar situation. They draft Loveland. They bring in Luther Burden as well. I mean, that's going to push those guys down the board, not to the extent of like what Jerome Ford had the other night. I mean, in our last draft, Roma Dunze, ADP 45, pick 56, 11 spots, one round, not bad. Cole Kmet, something pretty similar, ADP 173, obviously not sexy already, but goes 187. So about 14 picks, just over one round. What's your thought process for the Bears here? I mean, that I obviously still love Rome. I think he outsnaps Burden season long. So for me, I'm definitely buying the dip. I'm still obviously more trepid about Cole Kmet. But how are you handling this scenario?
So honestly, I think that at some point during the year, potentially, DJ Moore could be dealt, maybe.
Wow.
Um,
I don't
yes,
know about that. That they just want to keep that trade posted of the Carolina for, or the Bryce Young for like a quarter of our team. That trade, there's no way they're getting rid of DJ. That would be
I
wild. That would be
it it
wild.
it would be, but I mean, if the Bears season isn't going the way they hope it's going, maybe get some capital for DJ Moore before he falls off that cliff, right? I mean, he's still
They
a
would
really
get a
good wide
lot.
receiver.
They would get a lot.
So maybe that happens, right? If that
Yeah.
happens, Roma Dunze and Burden are both at really good ADPs right now, right? If that doesn't happen, I still kind of like taking Burden's ADP of 85
Mhm.
over Rome's ADP of 51. Like I'll take that 34 ADP difference on Burden because I don't think Rome is that much better than Burden. I think they're probably similar, and I know that they both have really high draft capital for the Bears. But I'd rather just take the guy that's later and not guess who I think is going to end up being the two at the end of the year. Because if Burden comes out and is just better than Roma Dunze, I mean, I'm sure Ben Johnson has no problem taking the guy or moving Burden to the two, the guy he actually drafted. So
Mhm.
I'd rather do that, but Rome in a vacuum where he's going, like I'll take almost anybody over Rome outside of Godwin currently because I do think
Interesting.
Godwin's injury may be lingering. I'll take anybody over Adunze right now. Sutton, Hunter, DK Metcalf, Addison, Waddle, Ridley, Debo. The Olave one is interesting. I'd like to see what they do there, but like Rome is just he's in a
Rome
bad
was going
spot.
higher in the big board.
He's currently 51. Yeah, I know. Which again, that was without Burden. But it
Still.
just I'm not going to jump on the Odunze train until we get to camp and we find out
Mhm.
who's actually going to be the two. What are they going to play? Are they putting Rome, outside? I'm
Mhm.
assuming for him, like Burden, if he's going on the inside and playing like a JMO role there, again, I would much rather have
They
Burden.
the coach speak that's been out on Rome is that he's gonna be lined up everywhere. We're gonna use him in all sorts of creative ways. But that was also pre Luther Burden. I don't think that much changes. So I do give some pushback to Roma Dunze. I mean, at his current cost, I would like a discount, but I'm buying the discount. Because again, ADP again Monday I had it at 45. So you're saying he's already to 51. So he's moved back 6 spots. I'll continue to buy that dip. And if he falls another 10, 11 spots, that would push him again to about round 7, round 8 potentially. So I would definitely be in on his fall. Has a lot of physical traits. Yeah, Wiles in the chat saying he's a dog. Had to deal with dog shit offense last year. Yeah, obviously it was a complete mess. And I saw your point earlier about DJ Moore being disgruntled as well. I just think this is why you go out and you get Ben Johnson. I mean, you go out and you get an offensive mind to groom a young, high caliber quarterback in Caleb Williams. And obviously they've surrounded him with weapons here. I mean, kind of pivoting to the Cole Kmet scenario here, looks like he's going to stay put. going to run a lot of 12 personnel. They may not be the sexiest numbers, at least as far as like targets, but I think that Cole Kmet is definitely in line for some spike weeks. And at his current ADP with some falling, it's hard for me to say no. And also prefacing that with builds, right? You never want to have Cole Kmet as your second tight end. Like you want to get him as your third.
Yeah, definitely. And to Jeff T's point here, he said I'd be cautious with Bears and Bucks wide receivers. They will spike, but it may be sporadic due to breadth of depth. And that's kind of why I'm taking the approach of just taking Burden if I want a wide receiver there, because he's the last guy that goes, right? So if they're all going to kind of mix and match, different weeks and have spike weeks, on different weeks, like I'd rather just take Burden at the latest ADP.
Very good segue there. Chat, let us know what you think about Rome Odunze, Cole Kmet if you're buying the dips. Jalen McMillan. Let's go right to him. Where did he fall the other day? It was something massive.
Oh, he down now.
Oh, I didn't even put it on here. I think it was like 30 picks after ADP that I got.
He's currently going 127.
Okay, so 127. Let's see where I got him in that other draft. I want to say that was even higher. I got him at 126, but I got him after ADP, so he had to have a fall there. I'll try to.
He's been falling ever since the other day. Like it's just.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. For him. But you've been off Jalen McMillan, but he's the last guy in the pecking order.
Yeah, and now I'm at more of a comfortable spot of maybe taking him at 127. I just didn't want to take him at what was he going on the big board, 80 something?
It was like 86, yeah.
Yeah, like didn't love that because
he was still Jalen McMillions at that point. You just watch it, sir. You just watch it.
And I know I said something to you about like they may add somebody.
I did not. No, I would not have bought them drafting Egbuka or Matthew Golden or any of these guys in the first. I wouldn't picture them getting anyone in the first round. There's no way. There's no way I would have bet on that.
Yeah, it's it is tough. But unfortunately, they did, and Egbuka's good. Like he's a good wide receiver. So it's going to be tough there. But again, like McMillan's now is at a spot where I'm okay. Like I'll just name some of the guys going around him. Rashad Bateman, probably still want Bateman. Keon Coleman. I'm okay taking McMillan there if you want to do that, though. I think that they're pretty close.
It's a pass heavier offense in the Bills, who actually just added Elijah Moore today as well. Those rat bastards. What are they doing? Come on now.
Hollywood Brown.
Go ahead. And I was going to say to this comment, I drafted Godwin and McMillan, same team. So again, kind of the ebbs and flows there. I don't know if I want to do that with the Bears. Like DJ Moore, Rome feels too early. They're not, Burrow, Chase, Higgins yet. Knock on wood. I pray they can be that. That would be amazing. But there's been nothing to show you that that's what they will be. So to pay that type of cost is kind of a lot. But doubling down on maybe like DJ Burden, don't hate that. I don't want to do Kmet Loveland, but also mixing maybe like Loveland or Kmet with a combination of those guys. But what the Bears did was nice because they waited on receiver. They didn't spend the first round capital on receiver, right? The freaking Bucks did. It drives me crazy because now, they are so deep and it is going to be so sporadic. I like McMillan. I like McMillan in that spot. I love the dip, and I mean, really, that's what we're looking at here. So it sounds like you're in on some value, but I also think it could potentially signal that Chris Godwin maybe not as 100% as we thought he was going to be for the start of the season, at least the start of the season.
Yeah, agreed. And Wiles was saying he finds it odd that they would just give up on him after some great signs as a rookie, which I agree with there. Honestly, like the whole thing that we're talking about here this is all great for Baker. Baker's just set up to have another massive season. I mean, he has 4 wide receivers that are great. He has an elite one. He has a really good one in Godwin as long as he's healthy. McMillan showed flashes, and Ibuka is probably going to be really good too. I mean, we saw him in college. He's a great prospect. So wheels up for Baker for sure. But McMillan is fine at the ADP. If you can get him even more out of fall, I think that's fine because, I mean, he eventually falls down into like the Kyle Williams, Jack Bech, Quentin Johnson, Xavier Legette. Like he's probably going to fall into that round. I would rather take him over pretty much all those guys. So a lot of people are in on Kyle Williams, yet to be determined there for that. But yeah, McMillan, the ADP cost is getting more and more juicy for him.
like I said, I'm absolutely in and totally agree with you on Baker as well. I was good with his cost before this. Obviously, just takes a big hit with Igbuka getting drafted. Going to need some pieces to fall in play with production, playing time, and injury here or there for somebody. Don't want to put it up against anybody. I mean, do you discount like Mike Evans' ADP at all? I mean, obviously he's at the top. He was healthy last year, but another year older. You also have more competition now, not relied on or needed to be relied on as much. Are you off Evans a little bit? Like maybe it just, makes you tinker the exposure a little bit?
I mean, not really, only due to the fact of one, Baker absolutely loves Mike Evans. Like that's his
Mm-hmm.
dude. Like he
Dog.
goes to him, and we saw it time and
Dog.
time again last year when they're in the red zone. Like he's willing to just chuck it up to Mike Evans. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
still very valuable in underdog is touchdowns. So and where he's going, like he's going right behind Devontae Adams. He's at 35 right now, but he's going ahead of Rashee Rice. I'll take Evans over there because Rashee Rice still has question marks. Xavier Worthy. Probably still take Evans, though Worthy is interesting. If they do end up getting back to that pass heavy down the field, chuck it up to the speedy guy, Chiefs that we saw from a while back. Then there's Ted McMillan, still question marks, but it's probably going to get a bunch of targets.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith, two on a team that doesn't throw the ball an absolute shit ton, but he is pretty. I mean, he's a great wide receiver. So like Evans is still at a spot where I like him over a lot of guys, but I do agree with you. Like his ceiling may just be a little bit worse than what it was in previous years because now there's another mouth that can be fed in this offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we do have to, temper those expectations a little bit. The same thing goes for Godwin. Everyone's saying, "Oh, he's going to be back. He's going to be great." Look at all that production he had before he was hurt, and it's like they also drafted another guy. He also has competition. I mean, it's not great for McMillan, but again, in an offense, going to put up a lot of points, going to pass the ball a lot, and he's the latest value at receiver there. So I think there is something to endear there. And also, hey, you miss on stacking Baker with some other guys. You've got your last ditch effort here before Kate Otten.
Yeah, say that was the other name. Well, plus Wild's the same. Plus year two Bucky that should be really good too. But Otten also takes a hit.
Yeah,
I,
no, I
I
mean
think a little bit with all this.
Bucky Irving is also going to be money in the red zone. Going to have a reliable role, but I think that Rashad White they still like. Sean Tucker, I know that they still like. I think there will be some balance in the run game as well. Biggest winner, we all agree, is Baker Mayfield. The offense, the levels are up. So quarterback play, his total points, his likelihood to repeat as a top 5 QB, I think is pretty stable. And where you get him in like round 7, round 8, very friendly, very friendly.
Yes.
Let's move on here, chat. Let us know what you think about some of those Tampa Bay shares, specifically Jalen McMillan. Next up, not so sexy of a fall, but maybe some more fallage potentially to come. I'm going to bet on is Jacoby Myers. We're seeing Jack Besh get moved up 20 picks, 25 picks. You have Ashton Genty in the offense. You have a new QB. You still have Brock Bowers there. I have to feel like Jacoby Myers still, to a lot of casual drafters, won't be as sexy as a name as some of these other guys. I feel like there could be a bigger fall coming. Right now, we're getting him like 5 to 7 picks after ADP. I'm a Jacoby Myers guy. I feel like he's going to get some good usage in this offense that also, again, levels are up, tides are up for the Raiders. I think that benefits everybody. And getting a little bit more value on Jacoby Myers that's been with this group, obviously, new coach, new playbook, get all that, but there is some continuity in what he's brought to the roster for the past couple of years.
If you look up consistency in the dictionary, there's a picture of Jacoby Myers right there
Mm-hmm.
because that is all this dude does is just consistently produce. He's like a 10 to 12 point a week guy, in fantasy, which is absolutely great as like a wide receiver 3-4 for you. It's fantastic. And some of the guys that he's going around, he's going around Jerry Jeudy. I'll definitely take Jerry Jeudy over him. Ricky Pearsall, I probably take Jacoby Myers over Pearsall.
Yeah.
Matthew Golden, which is where I think the casuals will see, oh, they just took a round one guy. I'm definitely taking him over Myers. I probably still take Myers, though I do like Golden. Jaden Reed, I'll take Myers over Reed. Myers over Pickens is where it starts to get a little interesting for me. I could still take Pickens there. And then Khalil Shakir also, like I kind of like Shakir over Myers, but
Mm-hmm.
Myers is such a fine wide receiver 3 or 4 for you. I don't really see the role diminishing. Like he's probably still the one there outside of Brock Bowers. Jack Best is probably going to take a little bit to get used to the NFL, like rookies normally do. They didn't take him with like a round 1 draft capital or anything. They have Genty, who's probably going to steal a lot of the, the goal line stuff, which is where it kind of sucks for Myers a little bit. But still between the 20s, like Myers is very consistent. So I'll still take a fall on Myers just because of where he's going. It's hard to say that I want to like target Myers, but if it warrants the build of a guy that I just need some points from, Myers is a go-to guy there.
Not someone you need to be pulling up the board by any means, but when he lands in your lap, I think you should be happy. I do think, as far as builds go, wide receiver 4 on your roster is probably the best. If he's your 3, then everywhere else should look good, and you should probably have Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty, maybe probably just one of them. That might be a bit much, but I would say you would be really bigly up at running back and tight end if you're getting Myers as your 3rd. So definitely, nice placement as your 4th. Might be getting a little bit more risky if you go above that, but it's just a really nice fit, especially if he falls a little bit in your drafts and he's just right there in your lap. You got a nice late round stack option with Geno. You don't have to pay up for him. Maybe you were able to get Ashton Genty. A lot of easy stacking opportunity with Myers and an improved Raiders offense. Excited to see what they're going to do this year. Jeff in the chat saying nothing against Jacoby, but yeah, you're right. He is lucky to be in a room where it's just been kind of barren, since Hunter Renfrow and Devontae Adams, like dudes, right? Hey, speaking of Hunter Renfrow, chat, let us know what you think about Jacoby Myers if you're buying the dip. But the Panthers, they are deep at receiver right now. They've got Adam Thielen. They've got Tet McMillan. They've got Xavier Legette. They've got Jalen Coker. They just added Hunter Renfrow. Who am I missing? Like, is there somebody that I forgot?
I don't think anybody of note. All I heard you say was they have Tet McMillan.
Yeah, I like
Legette, but Tet McMillan should
they're all falling
35% of the targets.
That would be nice. Getting the Brandon Marshall, experience.
Yeah,
that would
just throw it to Tet.
Be nice.
Just throw it to him.
Yeah, too bad Jay Cutler's not there to just heave it 50 yards down the field on a fling. I don't know about buying some of these dips. It's really hard. I'm going to be honest with you, Andrew, for me to not click like round 18 Hunter Renfrow. I love Hunter Renfrow.
Oh, Bruni, come on.
It's sick.
Bruni. Oh, sweet Jesus.
It's sick. I know. A poor man stealing. I know.
Brother.
I know.
But round 18, you should be looking at upside it's a throwaway pick. It's a lottery ticket, man. Take a guy that could go off that we don't know could do that. Like Hunter Renfrow was bagging groceries. Do not do that.
All right. Who's a better round 18 pick? Hunter Renfrow or Tyler Lockett?
I'll take Lockett all day on that.
Okay. That's the same thing.
I'll take Brandon Cooks. There's guys there that I'll definitely take. Here's my promise to you.
Those two examples are not good. I think if you had said Taj Brooks, that was the answer to go with. But the two guys and examples you gave, that's a better answer. Like that fits what you're saying. The other two examples you gave, I don't think.
I was just giving you examples of guys that I'm taking over him all day, every day. Like,
sure.
I will never take Hunter Renfrow ever. I'm not doing it. What is he going to provide?
Receptions.
You just said
what
that
Adam Thielen does. You're all about Adam Thielen getting hurt. I
would take Adam Thielen over Hunter Renfrow. And you know how I feel about Adam Thielen.
Of course you were. But when Adam Thielen isn't there anymore, who's going to be Adam Thielen?
My God. Just do not, Bruni, please. I want to see you win money. Don't do that. Do not take Hunter Renfrow.
I'm going to have to do it now just out of spite. I hate it.
Oh, Jesus. Chat, hey, at least I tried.
You all did. That's fine. It's documented. No problem. They're just all falling. I really don't know if I want a ton of any of them, but I do think that Hunter Renfrow is a fun.
I'll take Isaac Tesla over Hunter Renfrow.
Well, we saw that happen. We saw
Torrey Horton, Troy Franklin.
I really hope Hunter Renfrow gets to serve you guys some humble pie. I really do.
He's going to be serving
The poor man's trying to have a comeback, and you guys are just
He's going to be
shitting all over
serving
him.
the rest of the wide receivers their lunch. That's what they brought him in for. They're like, hey, we need a guy to like get people their stuff.
That's ouch. That's not nice. A lot of experience over there. Hunter Renfro. It's okay.
Oh man.
Exactly, Jeff. Jeff knows.
Shit.
Is he old? How old is Hunter Renfro now?
Well, hold on.
You guys are talking like he's 35.
Hunter Renfro age.
Did he fall off the cliff?
He is 29 years old. He'll be 30 December 21st.
All that experience. He's about to fall off the cliff that he's already fallen off of.
Well, I just typed in Hunter Renfro age. At the bottom here, it said, does he need help signing up for AARP? Ask Adam Thielen. Wow. Interesting.
I'm 35. Like, good Lord.
Yeah, but like in the NFL, like 29 is like, you know, that you got to count them as dog years because they just get ran through. Like, dude. Oh, Bruni. All right. Who's next up? We can't talk about Hunter Renfro anymore. We're losing the chat.
Packers wide receivers. Talk to me about Jaden Reed. All knowing knower.
I still like Reed. But they did bring in Matthew Golden, like the first time in like 20 years they drafted a first round wide receiver. So I think they want to try to make it a point to get him the ball. Reed's probably the two in my eyes here. Obviously they still got Tucker Kraft. I think Dobbs and Wicks are the guys that like, which one stays with the team? Are they both going to stay with the team? How many wide receivers are the Packers going to carry? Like, they also drafted Savion Williams. Like, could he be a casualty before the season? Maybe. They drafted him late, but he's still a rookie. Like, he's probably better than Wicks or Dobbs, one of them. So I think one of those guys fall off the team, but I'm still okay with Reed. I was trying to look here. Reed currently going at 75. So one pick after Jacoby Myers. That's an okay spot for him. Again, he's like a boomer bust guy in my eyes, right? Like we've seen him, last year he opened up the season with like 2 touchdowns and then just kind of fell off. And then he had a random good week and then bye-bye again. Like, so, you know, for a guy that, again, like look at your build. If it's a build where like he's probably your 3, I don't think I want to take that as my 3. If he's your 4-5 and you're maybe stacking it with Love or something, I think that's a fine way to do it. So I still am okay with Reed. I'm not touching Dobbs or Wicks before the season, before the like camp starts, because I need to see who's going to actually be on the team first.
Yeah, I'm really not interested in the group in general. Some good falls for Jaden Reed would be nice, but I think at some point, like, I don't think he goes past like 10 picks. I don't think you're going to get something that's going to be tasty enough to buy in. You know, you might get a little fall, like you said. Maybe you got Jordan Love, maybe you got Jacobs. This still feels like a run heavy team. And so the fact that they double down at receiver doesn't really impress me. Like, I don't like Matthew Golden moving up the board at his ADP. I think that paying up for his ADP or moving him up is a big risk at this time because no one knows how the touches are going to go whatsoever.
Yeah, tough to do. Wild says got burnt on all of them last year. Do we do it again?
Just
also, are we sure Jordan Love doesn't suck?
He might. I mean, he was wasn't he a top 5 2 years ago when they didn't have Jacobs? I mean, to me, again, it's just like the focus of the run game. Like, that's what they want to be.
Love's easier to click this year just because he's a quarterback 16. Going at 123, like he's an easier click for me this year because I think he goes around guys that he can compete with. So I'm still okay with him where he's going, but yeah, man, it's going to be tough to figure out what Packers wide receiver you really want to go in on. I think Matthew Golden's the safest one, followed by Reed, but you know, pick your poison there.
All right, next up we've got the stage is yours, Mike Rob. Tyrone Tracy. Not falling a ton, fell about 8 picks in our last draft. How are you handling this this newly potential split between him and Cam Scatabo? And do you think that a free agent could still land there? Keep in mind they still have Devin Singletary.
Yeah, I still like Tyrone Tracy. I don't think that he really lost out to Cam Scatterbo here. Now, hopefully Meg and Steve aren't in the chat because we know how they feel. The Shoups are all over the old Scattaboo, and I also like Scattaboo. But right out of the gate, Tyrone Tracy's been there. Like, I still think that he's going to be the guy, but I do think it's probably closer to more of a 50-50 split than I'd like to imagine it being. It's probably going to be 60-40 right out of the gate.
Mhm.
I mean, they went and got Scattaboo. Now, granted, he was a day 3 guy, and generally those guys don't pan out, but he was like a couple picks into day 3. So, take that for a grain of salt. But I still like Tyrone Tracy. I mean, he's going around guys like Najee Harris, also a guy that's probably going to be splitting work.
Mhm.
Jalen Warren, also probably going to be splitting work. DeAndre Swift, probably not going to be splitting work right out of the gate. So that's a safer one in my eyes. Isaiah Pacheco, do we get hurt again with Pacheco, or is he going to potentially be splitting? Like, the point I'm making is he's going around a lot of guys who are also splitting work. Tyrone Tracy's fine. The Giants' offensive line wasn't dog shit last year. It's fine, but I do think Cam Scatterbo can do things a little bit better than Tyrone Tracy can. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to like target Tracy, but again, if I need a guy to fill in, and I think he's my 3 or 4, I don't mind Tyrone Tracy. I mean, he's going to keep falling, and he's just going to become a better value, as the weeks go on.
I'm excited about the falls. I've been buying him in the big board quite a bit at his cost. So any extra discount that I can get, that's fine. I do think that where you see Scatabo go and Tracy go, the more we get into best ball summer, it's going to probably be pretty close. I don't think that they're going to add anybody else. I think they do roll with those 3. They still gave Devin Singletary some money, enough to just keep him on the roster. Nothing too crazy where you have to worry about cutting him. So I think you do have something out of those 3 guys. You still have 2 of them on rookie contracts, literally. And I think from a coaching scheme and having them there long term, healthy, young, athletic, that's a good thing. I just don't see why they would shut down a year 2 running back who had 1,000 all-purpose yards the year prior. Like one of the brighter spots of a really bad offense. Just don't see why they would just shut him down. Yeah.
Mike, fifth round pick. He sort of just fell into the job since no one else was around. Tracy is so easy to be put to the back for someone who was drafted with more capital. Yeah, I mean and that is true, but they got to see what Tyrone Tracy could do, and like he was serviceable, right? Like, and now he's second year in. That's generally when some running backs take a leap forward a little bit. So I don't think that they're going to completely just push him to the side. Like I think they're going to let him compete with Cam Scatterbo for the starting job, and he already knows the system a little bit. So I still have some faith there. But I understand what people are looking at when they look at him and think that Cam Scatterbo is just going to, insert himself as the one right out of the gate. Disbanded Brotherhood. Besides the period, he can type. He said, "Is Scatterbo a better receiver than Tracy?" Probably,
Yes.
yeah, probably. So again, like Tracy could be maybe the first, second down guy for a few games in, whatever the case may be. I just think again, like I'm not saying that you should go target Tracy right now. Let him fall a little bit more, get that value on him at that point. Because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, injuries can pop up anywhere for anybody. So Scatterbo gets an injury, like Tyrone Tracy is going to be a really good value right now. So it's hard to say there. But Jeff T says, here's one. J.K. Dobbins, talk about him. Chargers placed the unrestricted free agent tag on him because they expect him to sign somewhere, and they would get compensatory pick. I mean, I'm not sure the Giants would go take J.K. Dobbins, but anywhere that you think J.K. Dobbins could go that makes sense.
Dobbins. Right now, probably Dallas. Yeah, just basing on rosters, like looking who's what where. Trying to think of somebody who would want to add depth. Maybe Kansas City just to piss us all off.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Buffalo would consider it as a 1-2 punch with James Cook if they think Ray
No,
Davis just isn't it?
they like Ray Davis and what's his name? Johnson, Ty Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they like them too much.
Let's see. Wild said I could see Dobbins to Dallas. Yeah, you got terrible
Mm-hmm.
Javonte Williams, and then a rookie who possibly has some upside in Jaden Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Dobbins does Dallas. That's a good team name. Tracy was a converted running back from wide receiver in college. I don't know if Scatterbo is a better wide receiver. Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, like I said, he probably is, but I do think
Mhm.
it's closer than people think so as well. But um, if the chat is predicting Dobbins to Dallas, we should probably be buying. And I kind of agree with this. I've taken Dobbins in a few of my recent drafts as my last guy. I mean, if I don't need him for a while, there's no reason to not just take him, set him on the end of your bench essentially, and just wait to see what happens. Because if he goes to somebody who's contending at the end and they want to utilize him, he could be definitely a winner for you at the end of the year. So it's a good call out. I said Dobbins has been linked to Denver too. Could be a depth piece,
I
maybe.
hope he doesn't for my Estime shares. Would love Estime to have a complimentary role there with RJ Harvey.
Yep.
All right, Andrew, I've got a couple of your guys on deck. You want wide receiver or running back?
Oh, let's go back to wide receiver.
Wide receiver Quentin Johnston fell 19 picks with the addition of Trey Harris to that Chargers offense. Have
Yep.
Mike Williams there, obviously. Lad McConkey, added Amari Hamptons, added Najee Harris. I gotta believe you're in.
I still like Quentin Johnston. I mean, he's the 3 on the team. I do think that Trey Harris is, insert the 2, right? I mean,
Mhm.
that makes sense for them. So I'm not saying that we should be drafting Quentin Johnston over Trey Harris by any means, but I mean, again, like look at where Quentin Johnston is going right now. Xavier Legette, I also like Legette, so I probably still take Legette over Johnston. But Jalen Noel, who rookie to the Texans, he's a speedy guy, right? So probably inserting in over Tank Dell there. Does he out of the gate do really well for the Texans? Probably not. I'd probably still take Quentin Johnston there. Romeo Dobbs, definitely taking Johnston over Romeo Dobbs. Adam Thielen, I know we're going to disagree on that, so we'll pass on that. Josh Palmer, I'll still take Quentin Johnston over Josh Palmer. Keenan Allen, which Wiles in the chat said, let's talk
Mhm.
about Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen, we don't know where he's going, so I'll also take Quentin Johnston over Keenan Allen. Cedric Tillman's interesting, though they could be adding, more pieces there as well. So Quentin Johnston is just at a spot where there's not a lot of guys that are like exciting there. And Quentin Johnston at least is going to, on a team with a good quarterback. We saw, flashes last year of good games of Quentin Johnston. I think he is hurt a little bit ceiling wise with Trey Harris there now, but Quentin Johnston still a decent pick. I mean, everyone was shitting on me last year when I'm taking him, and then he had viable weeks where he inserted into the lineup, right? Like he's not going to kill you being drafted at ADP 145. He's not drafted as ADP 70. So still think he's a decent spot there, but you can probably wait to go get him because he's going to probably keep falling. So just wait there. But
If
speaking of,
he's if he's falling 20 picks, I will give you some Quentin Johnson. You go ahead and click that button. I'm with y'all. ADP, I think, is a bit of a different discussion. You're just likely going to see him fall in drafts, and I can be on board with it.
yeah. Wiles down here said Keenan to Dallas makes so much sense. It probably won't happen. Jeff T
Mhm.
says, does Amari Cooper go to Dallas? He's cooked. Tolbert should be number 2 wide receiver. Yes, which we've pointed out. And I know Megan, Steve also on their show pointed out. Tolbert's a pretty good value right now. Go get him
Mhm.
right now. He said
I think. Go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say if I'd buy Tolbert dip if Cooper signed, still wouldn't touch Cooper. Okay, so between Cooper and Keenan Allen, who would you rather go to Dallas? Like, as far as who do you think would make the most fantasy impact for themselves?
Well, it would be Keenan Allen, just based off of them needing to throw the ball a lot, needing a reliable receiver. That would be great. Turbin is a good late play as well. I did him a few times in the big board. I do think that Keenan could also be in play again to go back to the Chargers as well. There was plenty of talk of that before the draft. I'm saying the Chargers or the 49ers is where Keenan's going to land. Those were the teams that were kind of murmuring his name around before the draft, and I feel like that'll be the likely landing spots. When he was still talking to the Bears, it was like Chicago or the Chargers, and then it pretty quickly became the Chargers or the 49ers. So I'm going to stick with those. I will agree with Wiles. It just makes too much sense for him to go there. It won't happen. Just like it would have been a lot of good sense for them to draft a running back or two.
Uh, Jonathan Mingo.
That's true.
Mm,
That's true.
yikes.
A poor man's Quentin Johnston.
Nice.
Chet's like, oh, we'll take Mingo over Renfro. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, don't touch either one of them.
Very
All right, let's go to the running back that you had.
Jalen Warren. I got him in this last
Jalen
one that we did.
Warren.
He ADP 89 falling to 102, adding Caleb Johnson. I know that a lot of people had the Steelers as a landing spot for them, but again, I don't really see much changing here. This is a very similar situation to like Jerome Ford. Like this is the guy that's been there. This is the guy that gets very good production on a per touch basis. I think the dip is just what we needed, at least on my side of the monitor here. I know that you were all in on him, but I like the discount that you're getting him at. After pick 100, I feel a lot better about the cost.
Yeah, Steve checking in. So yeah, I mean Jalen Warren. I mean, again, like I still like him here. I know they got Caleb Johnson, fine. But I mean, what's really changing for Jalen Warren from Najee Harris to Caleb Johnson? I don't think much personally. I think Jalen Warren, if anything, because it's a rookie now, there gets a little bit more work right out of the gate. You're getting him at a discount, like you're saying, current ADP of 97, going right in front of Cam Scatterbu, right behind Tyrone Tracy. I mean, he's still a good value in my eyes. I mean, they already know what they want to do with him. He may get some more running downs work. He's already going to catch the ball for them. Like I don't really see a whole lot of that has changed for Jalen Warren. And if we just keep getting him at a value, I still think it's good. He's being drafted as RB 30. I could definitely see him finishing 30 or a little better. Like I don't see that being an issue for him. So
Mhm.
I'm still buying the dip with Jalen Warren until something else tells me otherwise. And they have an offensive coordinator who likes to run more than just one running back. So I mean, it's not like Caleb Johnson's just going to come in and just take the work over.
I think the quarterback situation here also plays into effect. Like if they're really going to roll out, like was it Mason Rudolph? I know they drafted Will Howard. Who's the backup behind Mason Rudolph? It's not coming to me.
Ooh. Uh let's see. Steelers depth chart.
Thought the chat was going to just call it out. Or
Skylar Thompson is the other guy, but they already have Will Howard listed as 2 behind Mason Rudolph.
okay, okay. I would really like if Will Howard just came
Also,
along.
Jalen Warren's still listed as RB1,
As
but
he should be.
that's for now.
I would love if Will Howard just came along, like from now through the end of the postseason, and was just the guy. I think that would be great. He can run. The deep ball may not be there, but he's got two big dudes that can just go up and get it. So, you can definitely, get a little bit risky with some of the deep balls, but the fact that he can run so well and work out of the RPO, I think Arthur Smith is just going to get like just boners all training camp. Just yep, there goes Arthur again from 6 to midnight, just sitting on the sideline. Will Howard there, he's got a big body. He can break tackles. I mean, you can just use him as a downhill runner. So if they don't get Aaron Rodgers still not on a roster. I could see that really benefiting Jalen Warren in the sense that they will need to throw to him more often and also just create just safer throws, period. And realistically, Pickens and Metcalf, they're field breakers, right? They're not like low ADOT guys. I had an interesting conversation with somebody about fantasy about Roman Wilson because they had taken him in like a dynasty startup. And I was like, wow, you have Roman Wilson on this roster already. That's wild. Like, what do you know that everybody else does? And he's like, well, just kind of look around. Like, who's throwing the ball? How should they catch the ball? Probably downfield, those guys. You don't have any low ADOT guys. If Roman Wilson's healthy, he could be that dude. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But I think that also plays into Jalen Warren in the sense that he's just a safe throw.
Yeah, and we were on him last year until he just, didn't play ever.
Yeah,
So
I've always been a Najee guy, but that just that comes from like the redraft streets. Like I just always love Najee.
yeah. Yeah. What else you
uh,
got?
Tyler Warren. Ouch. He fell 30 picks for
He
Andrew
did.
in our
I
last
saw that.
draft.
Yep.
Pick,
I took that.
pick 130, ADP 1 hundo. Yeah, it's not great. Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones. Ouch. That hurts. Seems like you had the faith still. I mean, 30 picks is a pretty easy click.
Yeah,
That's a
definitely.
pretty easy click for the guy that was supposed to be the first tight end drafted. Thank you, the Bears.
I mean, you know me. I love some Tyler Warren. I'm going as tight end 9, ADP 107. Shout out Penn State. Tyler Warren, I got watched him a lot. Dude is an absolute freak. Can do everything they ask him to do and more. I just still think Tyler Warren's going to get the opportunities. I mean, is he going to be hyper targeted like uh Brock Bowers was? Probably not because of the offense and what they're going to want to do, but is he going to get probably 25 to 30% of the target share? That's a good possibility for him, right? Like,
Mhm.
so I still think it's a decent play there. It does suck that the quarterback play is going to be less than ideal potentially. That stinks, but I mean, there's nobody really there that's like jaw dropping, pass catcher for them that's going to just absolutely show that they are way better than Tyler Warren. I mean, you still got Michael Shipman. He's way down the board. Did they lose faith
Hey,
in
come
him?
on.
You know.
Wait, Michael Pittman with a real QB. Come on, stop.
Well, I tried
Stop
to tell you
it.
last year, listen, man, here we
Stop.
are. But
Stop.
I mean, and then you have Alec Pierce, you had Adonai Mitchell who barely played. You have
Downs.
yeah, Josh Downs, thank you. Like, which I do like Josh Downs a lot as well. But it's just again, like they have a bunch of just Jags, as they call them, right? Just guys. So I think Tyler Warren has all the opportunity in the world with the Colts. And when they get in the red zone, like I know they like to run
Mhm.
Jonathan Taylor. And if Anthony Richardson is the guy, he will probably be getting some running work there. But Tyler Warren is such a big body guy and he played basketball very well. So he knows how to use his body against other defenders. And I just think that, his role in the red zone could surprise people. And that's obviously very good for us on underdog. Like if he goes out there and rolls out 10 to 12 touchdowns, like his value where it's currently going is an excellent value. So I'm still in on Tyler Warren. Give me some Warren, baby.
He went right after Tucker Kraft in that draft. Tucker Kraft went 129. Warren went 130. His ADP that night was 100. So he's even fallen 7 picks already. Continue to buy that dip. Someone has to shine above. Yeah, I saw that Wiles giving us shit because we didn't mention Riley Leonard. I think Riley Leonard gets redshirted. He was talked up as one of like the better options for a development quarterback in this draft. And I think that he may just not play this year. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. He is not. I don't believe, and this is as a Notre Dame fan, he's polished enough in the passing game to just be a consistent threat. Like he can run. Riley Leonard can run. Like he could run like Will Howard. He can't pass like Will Howard. I also watched the national championship game, just so you know. Andrew, number one
rule with tight ends. Oh
draft
boy,
Calcaterra.
I was just gonna say. I mean, find guys that can score touchdowns, opportunities. Pretty sure that's where he's going. He said I was kidding. I promise.
Fair enough.
As the Riley Leonard.
No, definitely want to buy yourself some Tyler Warren coming off the Jalen Warren convo there. I mean, the last guy I have on here.
Oh, no. I know what he's referring to now. He said, Andrew, number one rule with tight end is you got to go draft the motherfucking Mackey Award winners. I mean, look at what they've done. Tyler Warren, Mackey Award winner. I mean, it's shown, Trey McBride, Mackey Award winner. Very good tight end, right? Like, so I'm just saying, like, yeah, and he's right. It's an easy thing to kind of place some faith in is, best college tight end coming out tends to be pretty decent in the NFL. So come on now. Okay. That was a nice tandem right there.
What do we think about Najee? Not really too big of a fall. I think that a lot of folks are still going to have confidence in him just because the offense is so run heavy. Like I don't think he should really be falling that much. Are you seeing
not 30 spots?
No. But like, are you seeing him fall like 10, 12 picks?
Warren still. I mean,
no, Najee.
I'm sorry, Najee. Yes, he's definitely still falling. Hold on, let me scroll down here to where he's now. So 86. I got him the other day at 90 something. Again, like I know he's sharing with Amari and Hampton, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Amari and Hampton is coming in and just taking the role right away from him. I mean, this regime went and got Najee. So I know they drafted Hampton, but they're going to be a 1-2 punch, at least for a while in my eyes. I do think Amari Hampton's probably at the end of the year going to be the guy, but Najee's still fine pick, and he's going around, like we already said with Tyron Tracy, he's going around other guys who are sharing, but at least he's on a team with a good offensive line. and a team
that
that's
runs
probably
the
going to be,
ball. Like
yeah,
that's
that likes
that
to
is
run
their
the ball.
philosophy. They have Greg fucking Roman. Like run the
Yeah.
damn ball. Like that's what the Chargers do. That's the whole thing about drafting. What was it Joe Alt last year? Was well, we use offensive linemen as weapons, so we good. We good. Also, we're gonna
Yeah.
bring back Keenan Allen. Fuck you know.
He's still a fine pick. I mean, if he's falling to you and you are in the 90s or in the hundreds,
Never say
take
no.
Najee Harris. I mean, that's a great pick.
Never say no to Najee. And he's just been reliable. I mean, I'm sure every year, like I say that he's gonna get hurt, he's gonna get hurt, but feels safer than the Deontay Johnson takes from last year. I'll tell you that much. That rat bastard.
Yeah.
Any other position battles you can think of? I mean, that was the pretty much the tops of my list.
I mean, not really off the top of my head. I mean, and there's like Aaron Jones and
Mason.
Jordan Mason are going like somewhat close together. You
Either
know,
or is fine. Either or is
yeah,
fine. I
I
mean, Aaron
still like
Jones,
Aaron
guys,
Jones
like
there, but
he still put up a ton of production last year, but also toted the rock a ton, like catching, rushing, like he was doing it all. So I do think he needs a bit of a reprieve, somewhat. Like he's still getting up
yep.
there. What do you think about the Brees Hall situation? Because he's also falling a little bit as well.
Yeah, it's interesting there. Like they have Braylon Allen, who they drafted last year, and
Mhm.
did they draft somebody this year again? Am
Let me
I
check their board. So
imagining
they
that?
have Hall, Allen, and then I don't see anyone
Oh,
else
they have
listed.
Isaiah Davis. Yeah, no. So they didn't draft anybody. I
Mhm.
I think he's still fine, right? But wasn't he rumored to potentially be a trade candidate? Like that could still be a
That's all that
thing.
we were hearing. Yeah, that's all that we were
Yeah,
hearing. But I I I like him still. Like if there's any bit of dip on Brees Hall, whether you're
37
off,
ADP.
this is a top 3 running back. I mean, I know that he's a few years removed, but last year again, shitty offense, just not
So
good, right?
so let's play the game. Just where he's currently going here. Let's go. Okay. Chase Brown's first one who goes in front of him. Chase Brown or Brees Hall?
Brees Hall.
Really?
Yeah, I've been telling you that
Okay.
the
I'll take Chase Brown.
Chase Brown volume is going to come down. It cannot be sustainable like he had that run from week 4 to week 14 last year. It's not sustainable.
I'll take Chase Brown
Okay.
easily. Amarian Hampton or Hall.
Hall.
Okay, I'm probably there with you. But as of right now, I'm there with you. James Cook, Brees Hall.
Brees Hall.
Joe Mixon, Brees Hall.
Joe Mixon.
Okay, so Mixon for you is up. Okay, because he goes 52 and Brees Hall's 37. Like
Yep.
yeah. Hall's a tough one for me. I want to believe, and I know now they have a running quarterback, and that generally helps a running back, so that's good for him. I
Mhm.
just don't love all the trade talk. And again, like I'm a Braylon Allen guy. I like Braylon Allen. I don't know. It's tough to say. I do still think it's an okay ADP for Brees Hall, but I don't know. The trade talk scare
What
me, and the
did
Jets may just be bad.
did they do anything else at receiver in the draft?
Um,
Because I think that'll just be the nail in the coffin
I
for me.
mean,
Is like
looks like
I,
right now Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, Malachi Corley. No,
I think that's a big benefit for Brees Hall. I think it's a big benefit for Braylon Allen too, but I think that's a huge benefit for Brees Hall with a rushing QB and a QB that needs safe throws. Justin Fields likes to throw screens. If he's going to look as good as he is right now on shorts on Twitter, I'll tell you what, you're going to want yourself some Brees Hall this year. And I could see Brees Hall rising up the board after, either trade talks are just put to bed or whatever. He is traded and the situation is better and he just gets an increased cost just based on the situation. 2 years removed from a top 3 RB season, I just can't deny myself. Like, trying to rely on Chase Brown to be a top 5 RB, given the amount of volume that he had down that week 4 to week 14 stretch, I just think, again, is just improbable. And that's a team that needs a running back. Lord mercy, they need a Nick Chubb. They do need a J.K. Dobbins because Taj Brooks and Chase Brown isn't going to be enough, especially with their offensive line.
yeah, no, that's. I mean, you make some valid points there. Valid points. Um, Yeah, and everyone just saying like I like Brees, got him at 40, and just now my
Mhm.
puppy drafting while listening, but he isn't a top 3 RB, which I also don't think he's top 3 RB either. But he said you like Ray Davis. Well, Jets version of him is Braylon. Yeah, I mean you feel okay taking both
No,
Ray Davis and
Braylon's in
Braylon
a good
Allen
spot
for
right now.
sure. There's 10 guys I take before Brees. Top 3 is wild take Bruni. Also, Fields going to
It's
take
not a
all of
wild
his
take.
TDs.
He's done it. He's done it before. It's that's what I'm referencing. It's not that he
I just
can or will be. It's that he's done it before, and I'll take that upside.
The offense, though, just doesn't warrant a top 3 running back is where my mind goes. Like, how many opportunities is he gonna have in the red zone? Like, how often are they truly gonna be there? I know we like Fields for fantasy,
Mhm.
but that doesn't necessarily mean that the Jets are gonna be good, right? Like, and a lot of these running backs need touchdowns, right? So that's where I get confused with him. Like, I'll take Barkley, Bijan, Gibbs, Genty, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor. Like, I'll take all of those guys over Brees Hall. Devon Achane, Bucky
Fair
Irving,
enough.
still.
Yeah, I mean, one season with Aaron Rodgers, and yeah, this will have the chat feeling a certain way. I don't know what to tell you. He did it with a worse quarterback in Zach Wilson. So I
Yeah.
mean, I don't really know what we're talking about here. He did it when the offense was worse. Last year, Aaron Rodgers like completely took the whole show over and ruined Brees Hall, in my opinion. I mean, passing the ball way more than they needed to for a 35 plus quarterback. The whole thing didn't make sense. And Brees Hall getting punished because Braylon Allen was drafted a year after he was a top 3 running back. It's just insane to me. So at no point did I say that Brees Hall was going to be a top 3 back this year. I said he's shown that upside. So at pick 37 for his ADP, if that's where he's actually going, being top 5, top 10 this year, I'll put it out there. I'll definitely say he has top 10 upside for sure. You make a valid point about the offense, but the offense was terrible they had really bad quarterback play and the offense wasn't good when they had Zach Wilson. So I don't know.
Yeah. All right, let's take the last one here. Jake says, and because I saw a lot of people talking about this actually, but said off topic, I absolutely love Brian Thomas Jr., but does he take a backseat to Hunter or lose volume because of it? I have seen this talked about as well on Twitter. What is your take here? Because I obviously am a Brian
Like
Thomas
who's
guy.
the
I was all
A1?
over him. Just well, okay. So two-part question. One, as far as ADP is concerned, should he be dropped a little bit because of now getting Hunter? First question.
I mean, probably, but I don't see it happening much.
Okay. Is he gonna lose what in your mind percentage wise? Because obviously they had nothing like Travis Hunter last
Mhm.
year. What volume wise do you think he loses? Is it more touchdown volume? Is it between the 20s, like yardage? Where do you think he gets hurt the most?
I think it's the in between the 20s yardage. I think the touchdowns will still be live for him because he was a deep ball guy. Like he was breaking open the secondary, and I think that is still how they will want to use him. Where Travis Hunter will be more of like your Chris Godwin role. But right now we're looking at what could be the next Mike Evans, Chris Godwins. They're young. They're in the prime of their life, right? So I think that both guys could put up big production on any given week. But if you're asking me who's going to have more touchdowns, I will say not Brian Thomas, and then for yardage, I think it's pretty close. I think it would still be tough for Hunter to go over the top on yardage. The way the GM's talking, it sounds like old boys playing defense, and my opinion on the whole offense and defense in the NFL. Like it's a lot of snaps. The level of conditioning is really unknown, like what you need to be. I think you need to be a fucking hockey player, to be perfectly honest. And none of these dudes are making it in the NHL, okay? Or be a professional soccer player. They run like 30 miles a game or something like that. I don't know if it's proven yet, like if it can be done without the conditioning not being there to play at a high level, or you just get hurt.
Yeah,
No, Amon Ra should actually be in this
it,
conversation because Amon Ra's falling to round 2 Wiles. It's
well,
ridiculous.
it's funny. I'm looking at it right now, and I don't know if this happened recently, but Brian Thomas is now behind Amon-Ra, going as 11. Amon-Ra now up to 10. So
Well,
that flip has
that
been
was
made.
fun while it lasted. That was fun while it
Professional
lasted.
corporal. Yeah, and
Hey,
the
for
other day, I know
fun.
I sent it to you the other day at 12. I was 12 and Amonra and BTJ were there. I just took them back to back and said,
Yep, love it.
I'll take
Love
both
it.
these dudes.
Love that. I think, can you drink beer in professional cornhole? I think that should be like a rule.
I don't think on TV you can, but obviously if you played cornhole,
sponsors. They need the sponsors.
that is
You
true.
don't think professional cornhole would be like Bud Light? Yeah, over here. Yeah,
Bud Light. Ugh.
whatever.
It's
What's
Miller.
the
Come on.
beer of NASCAR? What's like the beer of NASCAR?
I don't know. I'm not a NASCAR guy. I like cars that go just more than left.
Oh dang! Wow. I thought we were trying to get like Dale Earnhardt on one of these shows. You can't be saying that. I mean, I know his people have kind of ghosted us probably for a while now, but
yeah, it was a topic there for a little bit, and then they're like, "Yeah, we'll get back to you."
yeah, no, same thing from the Austin Eckler people. They're like, yeah, Austin's really tied up. We'll get back to you.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, back to BTJ. I still think he's an okay pick because I mean, if you're looking at guys that now go behind him, CMC with Underdog in mind of needing 3 wide receivers, I'll still take him ahead of CMC. I'll still take him ahead of Brock Bowers. Still take him ahead of Derrick Henry, Drake London, AJ Brown. Like I'll still take him ahead of these guys. Now, do I think that they could all finish very similarly in points? Yeah, but I mean, Brian Thomas is second year. I mean, those guys take leap forwards, and we already saw him be awesome last year. So I understand like the pause on him, but I still think he's gonna be fine. I mean, he was an excellent talent last year.
Again, he's going to be a deep,
and they're probably going to be losing games. So pass the ball.
Maybe. These guys, I love how all these guys thought there was a draft happening tonight. That's awesome.
I was gonna say at the end, if everyone wants to, like I'll get in like a schnauzer or something if everyone wants to. I'll wait to see what the chat says. But at the end, and on Monday I did forget to count it down at the end. That was my fault. The stream ended and I said to Bruni, "Oh shit, I forgot to count down." He's like, "Just jump in." Luckily, caught with everybody. Steve was in there, Ben Haskell. I can't remember who else was in there, but if anybody wants to do like a schnauzer, the $3 one, I'll hop in one at the end here if everyone wants to.
Yep, absolutely. Love it. Mike Robb saying that NASCAR does have dirt tracks. I thought they had road courses. I thought they had road courses.
They do, but I mean, what is it? 90% of all things are just, going to be left turns. So
my daughter is like really into watching Cars.
He said
like the Disney movie.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome.
Ka-chow.
Yeah.
I have 2 boys. I've seen Cars.
Yeah, well, you've definitely watched probably Frozen a lot less than me, but
have never seen that, so I've been blessed there.
Yeah, there you go.
Wile's gonna be dad soon to a girl, so he'll be in the frozen streets with you, Bruni. # girl dads.
No, those songs are terrible. They're awful.
Yeah.
Not worse than It's a Small World at Disney. I know Mike Robb brought that one up before, but no, appreciate everybody dropping in tonight. It sounds like Andrew's going to jump into. You're saying a schnauzer, Andrew?
Yes, I will get a schnauzer, everybody. Let's do the 20-second one. So again, when you get in, it's already set to 20 seconds, but make sure it is 20 seconds. So, Meg says congrats, Wiles. So anybody that wants to get in, again, the schnauzer, that is the $3 one. 20 seconds per pick is what we will go into. So Bruni, send us out, but at the very end, I'm going to count us down, people. All right. So everyone, finger on the trigger. All right.
All right. Take care. Be well. Be good, everybody. If you can't be good, be good at it. We'll see you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter.